Let's now look at the problem from scratch where we had a program that would ask you, is it raining outside? And depending on whether you say yes or no, it will give you two different responses. Okay, so if you say yes, then it will say take an umbrella. If you say no, it will say have fun outside. And we already know that programs run top to bottom, just like they did in Scratch, and just like they have been doing here so far. So we need something new that will allow us to do this split either left or right. So how do we do this? Well, just like in Scratch, we had an if statement. So here we also need an if statement. But the first thing we need to do is ask the question, is it raining outside? And we need to remember this in a variable. So I'll say weather, is it raining outside? Now, in one situation, I want to say have fun outside. And in another situation, I want to say don't forget an umbrella. And again, just to convince you that both of these will run top to bottom, if I ask the question right now, is it raining outside? And I say yes, it says both. But I only wanted to say don't forget an umbrella. Okay, so these two will depend on if it is raining outside. So if weather is yes, then I want to say don't forget an umbrella. So that's what I want to say. And if weather is no, then I want to say have fun outside. Now there's a few things here that I just did super fast and I just want to talk about them. So I will actually erase the second one just so I highlight it here so it's a little bit more obvious. The first thing I said, is weather the same thing as yes? The way you do that is with a double equal sign. With a single equal sign, you're assigning the answer to your variable on the left. With double equal sign, you're asking the comparison, are they the same? So that's the first thing that's very important. The second thing is we always end, so after our if statement here, after the first line, we end with a colon, two dots on top of each other. Then whatever we want to be inside of our block, and by that I mean this block right here, so whatever I want to be on the inside of here, will have a tab pressed. So I have to press tab on my keyboard, button above your caps lock. I can add more things there. So for example, this one, don't forget your socks. Okay, and it is now in the block because it is tabbed over. If it was not tabbed over, it would still run, but that would essentially be the same thing as if you brought it outside of the block. So that would be on the same hierarchy as this sentence that says test. So if I tab it, that means it's inside here now. So three things, 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, I also had the statement if weather is no. Now you can run this and it will work. Is it raining outside? Yes. Don't forget your umbrella. Don't forget your socks. If I say no, it will just say have fun outside. This works and it's okay. It's a little inefficient though, because the answer to this question is either yes or no. Right now what the computer is doing is, sure, it asks you the question and then looks at the answer and it compares it to yes. And let's just hypothetically say that weather is yes. Like if you already answered yes and you are already in here printing these lines of code or executing these lines of code, it's useless to check this. So how do we tell the computer that actually this question and this question, they're related and you can only choose one or the other? Well, we'll say elif. Elif just says, okay, well, if it is raining, if the answer is yes, so you hit the first statement and that is true, then you can print whatever is inside and you can skip until the end. So if I put test down here outside of the blocks, then it will completely ignore this and it will just skip here. Now in Scratch, this is all we could do. But in Python, we can do a little bit more. What if weather is not yes or no? What if it's maybe? So I have 3 branches. In my drawing, I would have yes, no, and maybe. And I can put its own custom sentence there. Okay, and you can stack these more. You can have more lines down here if you want with different conditions, but I will not do that. But what you did see in Scratch is you saw this else, and Python also has that. So else, and there's no condition. We don't say, well, else whether is anything else, we just say else. And here we'll just print invalid answer. Okay, so if the user does not say yes, if the user does not say no, and if the user does not say maybe, so they said gibberish, then I wanted to say invalid answer. So if I run this now, is it raining outside? If I say gibberish, it tells me invalid answer. The one thing that Python does different than Scratch is in Scratch, I could have answered this question in capital letter, so I can say capital Y, and it will still accept it. Here, it does not accept it. So if I hit enter now, it tells me that is invalid answer as well. We will not worry about this. You would figure this out later in grade 11, grade 12. Okay, so this video covered Scratch programming number 3, both part 1 and part 2. In the next video, we'll talk about loops, which is Scratch programming number 4.